Welcome back, everyone, to the National Workflow Summit organized by etgovernment.com and ServiceNow. We started off the event on a really high note with some really insightful discussions by our keynote speakers. To further accelerate the pace of the event, we shall now deep dive into some pertinent topics of the hour. With that, next we have a fireside chat on digital workflow reforms in Karnataka, for which I would like to invite Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Government of Karnataka, and Mr. T. Radhakrishna, Editor, South ET Government. Over to you, gentlemen.
Welcome to ET Government, Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayana, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka. Welcome to ET Government, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, we all know that after years of discussions and debates, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and the Government of India notified a new rules under IT Act 2000. I'm sure you are aware of latest developments in the last 2-3 months. What is your view on the new IT rules, if you can briefly?
It's very forward-looking and very conducive, and as well as making it accountable. See, most important, making it accountable is very important. And the misuse or the abuse of the freedom or the technology should not become detrimental to the democracy, and as well as to the rights and privilege and protecting of their rights also very important. So in this direction, I think it's a very forward looking and bringing accountability and forward looking and facilitating for the more participation. And it's a platform where all of us can participate, uh, express ourselves in a better way without any basis. We can't just come into any kind of conclusion.
Sir, you know that Karnataka has represented 4 ministers in the cabinet. Your first reaction on that? How do you describe the development?
Probably in this cabinet reshuffle or expansion, we could see the talent, the performers belonging to various sections of society have been given representation in a very big way. Out of 77 ministers, probably more than probably 2/3 is been represented by the OBC, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and all other linguistic, religious minority people, and as well as women given a big share. I think that's a very forward-looking. Probably most of the, I think 75% people are graduates with very good background, doctors, engineers, civil servants. All these kind of people are the part of the cabinet, and more so the representation for the Karnataka state of Karnataka. Very good representation has been given for all sections of society and for all regions across the state of Karnataka. Probably this has sent a very good message in probably in politics. This kind of measurement of performance, keeping in all aspects and giving importance to governance and performance is something very challenging. Probably our honorable Prime Minister has taken that the lead to send a very good message to the society, even in politics. It is not just politics or just for the namesake representation. Perform or perish is a very good message has been sent.
Sir, in Karnataka, higher education institutions are open for students from this week. So how different do you see the year 2021 compared to the year 2020, and your strategy and readiness for recovery from COVID-19 pandemic, if you can please?
It's been a very challenging time, something unimaginable, and lives and livelihood and pursuing the academic activity is really challenging. Probably for the past 1.5 years across the world, these challenges have been faced. We have to take a lot of risk, and at the same time, we can't let go the children of the academic activity. And with regard to this, we are trying to go for the digital as well as the virtual world very strongly. probably something which we were lagging. In this direction, we are trying to emphasize a lot under our Prime Minister. We have been always emphasizing on the digital India. In this direction, probably to catch up, we took our own time. But we are now trying to catch up and ensure that the digital divide in the rural or the urban area, rich or poor, or literate, digital literate, illiterate, all this differentiation or the gap needs to be addressed very strongly. The government has come forward to ensure the technology or the digital divide needs to be addressed very strongly. In this direction, we have provided laptops and tablets, tabs to all the students in studying in the government institutions in higher education, and as well as starting of the learning management system, smart classroom, complete integration, assessment, content providing, performance analytics, probably intervention. See, we can anywhere, they can learn from anywhere, any place, anytime. So all these challenges have been very addressed very strongly. Even then, many students would like to have offline classes also along with the online. So we are trying to understand the requirement and working towards this by providing vaccination to all the students above 18. We have taken on topmost priority, probably across the country. This kind of priority being given to the student. I think this, as far as my knowledge, it is only the state of Karnataka where you could see more than 75% of the students being vaccinated, and remaining people also have got vaccinated on the private quota or in their respective districts or their respective states, because Karnataka is a destination for education. Many people are from different countries, different states, and different districts. Probably overall, the vaccination drive has been extremely good. I think we are very happy that they have been prioritized and they've been given vaccine. I thank my Honorable Chief Minister and my government for taking such an excellent decision. See, whatever is available vaccine needs to be put into right use, judicious use. Probably we have done that. And in this direction, for many of the vulnerable and more exposed people, the vaccination has been provided. Now public transportation is open, and almost all services are open, and the classes are starting from in our state from this 26th, and even the learning has been going on the digital, and as well as now we are going to start the optional. If the student who has been vaccinated, they're most welcome to come and attend the classes.
Karnataka is perhaps the first state in the country to implement the National Education Policy 2020, and Karnataka is strengthening the administration of higher education in the state by enabling right legislation, right structure, right administrative reforms in order to become the future-ready government on par with the global standards. What are your ongoing efforts to achieve this in terms of workflow and digital activities, sir?
Sir, education, since the mankind is existing on this earth, the education is there. Only thing is how we have been providing education, how it needs to be made more effective. In this direction, probably the decentralization, the flexibility, the autonomy, and the way of learning centric. We are trying to be more focused on the learning centric. Each and every individual learns in different way. We need to understand this. We need to be sensitive to these aspects, and the teaching techniques with regard to the pedagogy, the concept of learning only is going to change completely. Conceptual learning will be emphasized a lot, being critical, creative, and getting out of this regular examination methods. Continuous assessment should be there only for the examination. Once in exam, once in a semester, once in a year. Assessment is not a right assessment. Needs to assess each and every day. The activity of assessment and evaluation should go on. Not only the student, the teacher, the system, the facility, and earlier, anything other than the academic activity, it is to be called as extracurricular. Now, even there's nothing called extracurricular. Everything is part and parcel. And in government, earlier, the education is to start from first standard. Now it is going to start from the year 3. Probably the learning, most 85% of the learning happens between the age of 3 and 6. The most important and relevant time, which has been emphasized and addressed very strongly. Probably NEP, I think that is the biggest thing what we have done in starting the education from the age of 3. That is going to transform a lot and ensure that the right learning starts with the right good foundation, and many more things, sports, social values, and the social aspects, social challenges, environment, the regular day-to-day challenges being faced by the society. It needs to be part of their learning. They can't be away from all these things. See, we need to be part of the society, be part of the challenges, and address those challenges through our learning. That is how we can prepare a strong citizen, committed citizen. Is learning is for the society. Through him, it is given to the society, and it needs to make him more employable. See, employability also is important. Most of the time, what we give, the skill will not be there. Only just a theoretical knowledge is to be there. Now, the hands-on skill, employability, and keeping industry in mind and all-round aspects, psychologically, physically, socially, all the aspects have been kept in mind, and we want to compete not just within each and every individual. We need to compete the world level. We need to compete with keeping this all in the mind. We need to ensure that we are the best in the world. To become best in the world, we need to adapt the best practices. So the youngsters need to get a better future. So we are working in this direction. Probably the mindset change is really challenging, because everybody is in the tendency of control. I want to control. He's wrong. He's right. We become prejudiced. That we need to come out. See, we can't have much worse than the present. Anything can happen is better. Give them freedom. Give them opportunity. Work on the learning outcomes, and that is how we can take it forward. So quality and the performance can be the parameter to reflect not just the names of the institution. It is only how much we are going to transform the entire individual or the student, and the entire society is the most important part. We are working in this direction with the small steps and the big steps, legislation, regulation, administrative changes. In all the aspects, we are not trying to hold on to anything. As a government also, we are not keen to hold on to any power. We are for decentralization. We are for autonomy. We want to allow decentralization. Centralization doesn't help any institution. Institution cannot be run sitting in headquarters. Institution should be given the freedom, support, whatever facilitation has to be done by the government. We need to do that and allow them to define their future, and let the people should be allowed to take the responsibility. Keeping the entire society out of this loop will not help us, because their future is built through the institution. That is the one and the only right royal way to address the concern of each and every field. Let it be from agriculture to space. It is all really, it can be done only through education, because unless a right education is not provided, we cannot address any of our challenges.
Sir, information technology market has grown big during the pandemic, whether it is in 2020 or 2021. Of course, Karnataka being the Silicon Valley of the country, it has many advantages to expand the market base from Bangalore to Mysore and other districts as well. During your visits recently to many districts also, you have made announcements, positive initiatives. The many state governments also focusing on future-ready markets by promoting themselves, collaborating with the partners. Just want to check with Karnataka's opportunities in pursuing information technology and biotechnology. If you can share a few of your ongoing initiatives.
With regard to this, as and when the time demands, we are coming out with the right policies, right acts to facilitate the growth of the industry. So whatever it takes with regard to the incentives, initiatives, or ecosystem regarding the skilled manpower, or with regard to the facilities, we have been working very strongly, very closely with the industry for past many years, many decades. The government of Karnataka has been closely working with the industry. Further add much more strength, we have now established Karnataka Digital Economy Mission. Probably it's one of its kind across the world, probably not only across the country, across the world, probably bringing the most important players in the industry on the platform along with the government. They are part and parcel of the government function. So they need not search for the authorities to communicate, to address their challenges or the problem. They'll be part of the government. They can work closely. What are the initiatives to be taken with regard to the targeted investment, promotion, addressing whatever challenges they've been faced, and more so skilling the future generation, the future area, where we need to prioritize, how to go about it, what should be the roadmap For that to happen, probably in future, as we are looking at the artificial intelligence, IoT, machine learning, drones, robotics, automation, industry 4.0, probably all these things to happen, even the digital agriculture, agri-tech, edutech, medical tech, all these things integration needs to happen very strongly. Probably integrating on all the levels, it's been working. And since the Honorable Prime Minister is having a target of 1 trillion economy for digital industry itself, for which probably our share at present is more than 30% to 30 to 35%. Probably we need to reach 50 billion. For that to happen from now, present at least now 54 billion exports are there. From there, we need to climb up to $150 billion of exports and internal market, product development, and entrepreneur. In this direction, we need to do a lot of things across the state, every possible area, every possible city, every possible village, everywhere it should be a most happening places for innovation, research, development, entrepreneurship. So way forward, so digitally, we and physically, whatever it takes, we are trying to work to have the net connectivity, facilitation, encouragement, and we don't discriminate. Let it be a small or big, doesn't matter. We ultimately, what you can do is most important. So we are working very closely with regard to the biotechnology also. We have the best of the best institutions, Government of India institutions, State Institute of Eminence. Many of these been working very closely to encourage in all the levels. Probably the national education policy also is very forward looking to inculcate this culture even in the children, that research mindset, inward looking, and being critical, creative, and research orientation can start from the very basics. So we are working in all these aspects and getting all these institutions to work very closely with all the institutions. See the gap between the industry and academia, we are trying to close and much, bring it very closer. There should not be any gap in the direction. Probably the industry, internship, placement, connect, discussion, participation, and the industry is making use of the institution for the research and the technology hub. In all possible levels, we are trying to build in that gap now. And since the autonomy is the way forward for each and every institution, they'll be part of the board, probably in the lines of IIT, IAM, how the industry has been part of that institution. We'll be trying to integrate all the entrepreneurs and industrialists, whoever has passed out from that institution or they belong to that area or the place. We want all of them to be part of that solution, more so the local people, the resource people, the academician, industry. We want that kind of harmony and the participation. As earlier I mentioned, that the ownership, people need to own that and take it forward. They need to showcase how they are going to perform the strength of their place or area, how they are going to change. They need to show, compete with each other, not just with any city. We need to compete, as you rightly know. It is a platform, globalized world. We need to compete with the best of the best countries. So we are working, we are trying to each and every second minute. It's only one thing, how best we can improve, how best we can facilitate. We are working in all the time.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful, sir. So finally, you hold multiple portfolios: information technology, biotechnology, science and technology, higher education, skill development, entrepreneurship, and your priorities in private-public partnerships, if you can highlight.
To be very frank with you, from the day I assumed the office, I've been working very closely with industry, academia, and all possible important people to get integrated, to take the entire system forward. Probably it is each other. All my three ministry are related to each other. Probably I was lucky to get this kind of ministry where we can work closely with each other. So heading this ministry, I brought all these three departments together, and we are working very closely to take it to the next level, and learning and the industry and the skill work with each other. Now, probably the coordination, now we are trying to even reach out to various departments also, sir. Industries, primary and secondary education department, labor department, horticulture department, agriculture department, skill with regard to the artisans also, hospitality industry, service industry. We are trying to integrate all possible industry. We are trying to bring everybody. It is nothing, the department doesn't matter. We need to work closely to provide solution. So whoever comes forward to help each other, we are willing to work with everybody. So that reason we have constituted a committees involving NGOs, entrepreneurs, industry, academic, government. Everybody is part of many of the task force been created. The officers, respective department secretaries are the chairman, and we are trying to accommodate everybody. It is people's government. See, ultimately we need to delivery, and what is relevant to this time. We are working in that direction.
Sir, thank you very much talking to the ET government, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Narayan and Mr. Radhakrishna, for the wonderful discussion. It was indeed an interesting and engaging discussion. I'm sure our viewers have filtered a lot of key insights from this session.